See, life is like a role-playing game, right? Right, you get to pick your character, pick your avatar, right? When you pick your avatar, you get to pick your skills, pick your skills, pick what race you want to be, right? Pick your your class, your warrior, right? You want to do magic, you want to do strength build, right? Good with swords, good with spells, right? Then you load into the game, right? You start the game, start the adventure. And when you load in, you usually start in some small village, right? With no skills in anything, right? You have certain skills, right, that you're born with, or that you go into the game with. But most skills you have to cultivate, right? All of the skills, usually all the skills that you have to cultivate, right? You have some skills that you're natural at, right? You're naturally born good at, just like an RPG, right? And you start the game, right? You go into the village, or you start out in the village, right? And you start wandering off, you start walking the path. Usually it guides you a little bit at first, right? Just how your parents guide you a little bit. And then you go on your way, right? You start the game, you start the adventure. Most people don't start the adventure in life, even though that's what they came here for. They came here to experience life, to experience, right? What do they have in RPGs? They have XP points. You gain XP points, you gain experience, right? Just like life, you gain experience in certain aspects, right? But you have to start the adventure, right? You have to wander out, right? You have to go outside the village, right? And engage with whoever, right? You start talking to people. You might talk to this merchant, right? Or that warrior, or this whoever you talk to, right? Only RPG I've ever played is Skyrim, though, and maybe a couple other, but Skyrim's the main one, definitely the main one. But yeah, life is an RPG, right? Life is an RPG. Whatever skill you want to cultivate, right? You can cultivate. You can gain experience points in it, right? And some people are born different. Everybody's born different, right? Just like I said, you can pick your class, pick your warrior before you get into the game, right? Some people pick the magician route. Some people pick the warrior route, maybe the archer, right? Some people born with none of that, but they have the luck. Their luck maxed out, right? All their luck is maxed out, but they have no good skills, right? So they go to the game, right? Just finding the best weapons, the best swords, the best armor, right? And they just flow through the game because their luck is on 100. Their luck is maxed out, so they just get everything handed to them in life. Some people are like that. Some people are born like that. You probably know people like that, where they just seems like everything works out for them, right? They might not even be smart either. They might be like not to be mean, but like the dumbest person you ever met. But somehow, some way, somehow, they always get what they want, right? You can cultivate that skill too. You can cultivate your luck too, right? It's all about how you want to play the character. Like Shakespeare said, he said, "He that wishes was wished until he were." And he never wavered in that conviction, right? And that's true. That's from the book Julius Caesar. And even Julius Caesar, take somebody like Julius Caesar. He wasn't born Julius Caesar, right? He wasn't born as that man he became to be, right? He assumed the position. He assumed the authority. He assumed that role. And everybody followed. Everybody played that role for him, right? Because when you assume the state of mind that you want to be, right, the ideal state of mind, naturally everything starts happening for you. Everything in the universe starts to aspire to get everything you want, to put things in motion, right? You don't have to do anything, right? You can't do anything. You honestly can't do anything. All you have to do is really assume the role. It's a role-playing game, remember? We have to assume the role. And the game will mold itself to you, right? The game is coded for you, right? When a computer programmer programs a game, they put everything in there for you. They put all the things you need to beat the game in the game, right? Right? The game even usually comes with a user manual, right? The user manual in this life was the Bible, right? It's the Bible. And the Bible tells you, right? I of myself can do nothing. The Father in heaven, he doeth all the work, right? I, who is I? I is the conscious mind, right? I is you, your conscious thinking mind. The Father, who is the Father? The Father is the subconscious mind, right? The maker and the master. So the conscious mind can't really do anything It's the Father who does all the work. All the conscious mind has to do, right, is to yield to the subconscious mind, right? To have a lighthearted focus on what they want in life, on what they aspire to be. And the subconscious mind will play every role. The subconscious mind will do everything for you. That's how it works. So when you're playing the game of life, remember, just really just relax, calm down, and be, right? Be who you want to be. Be who you truly want to be. It's really that easy. It's really that easy. Life is so easy. It's really just the society, right? Like our parents, or, you know, people you learn from when you first grow up, or maybe just people, maybe your friends, whoever, right? The society makes it hard. Society really makes life hard. But life was always meant to be easy. Like I said, the computer programmer, in this case, would be the universe, right? Put everything in the world, put everything in the game for you to be successful, right? For you to be successful, right? Even games, even life has Easter eggs, right? Somebody might mention something to you, right? Or you might find a book, or you might see a YouTube video, or you might see whatever, you know, and it's speaking to you subliminally, right? It's an Easter egg, right? Right? Even life, like what they call it, life hacks. You know, a lot of people call it life hacks. Life has cheat codes. Just how they have in video games. Video games have cheat codes, ways to beat the way the game is programmed, right? And you can find those cheat codes in real life. They have real cheat codes. You just have to unlock them. You have to find them, discover them, right? And that's what life's about. But remember, you have to start the adventure, right? You can't just stay in the village where you spawned at the beginning of the game and expect to become the person you want to be, right? And I'm not just saying like, oh, move out your hometown and find yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying really adventure out, really adventure into who you truly are, right? Be who you truly are, right? No matter what the outside world says, or what the constructs are, what the rules are, what they say you can and can't do, right? Just do it, right? Whatever you're scared of, whatever you fear, that is the thing that you should do. That's the thing you should do the most, right? The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek, right? Where you stumble, there lies your treasure. Wherever you go, there you are. That means in every single moment, right, there lies your treasure, right? You're sitting on an acre of diamonds. You're sitting on an acre of diamonds. And it's true. It's very true. In every moment you can find who you truly are, right? If you really listen, right? The Bible says, be still, know ye are God. Because you are God, right? What you think and feel with your conscious mind, subconscious replicates that on the screen of space. Remember, the outside world is just nothing but a hologram. Just like how you load into a game, a video game, it's nothing but a simulation, right? It's nothing just but a hologram on a screen, literally on a TV screen, and you're playing through it. You're playing through an avatar. Like these bodies are avatars, right? And we loaded into them. You know, we loaded into these avatars to what? Experience life. And that's the beauty of life, is to experience, right? Try things. I think a lot of people fall into the idea of, oh, I have to be perfect. I have to be this way or that way. When you don't have to be any of that. You can just do it, right? You can just do it. That's the purpose of life. Like when you load into a video game, you don't strive to be perfect. You're not perfect at a video game when you first load into it, right? Your character isn't perfect. It's actually far from perfect. But you develop it, right? You gain the XP points. You rank up your swordsmanship, right? Your magecraft, right? Your luck, whatever, dexterity, stamina. You level it up. You gain XP in it. You gain experience in it, right? You don't ever start out perfect, right? So just like in the game, you're going to try, right? You're going to try to beat a level. You're going to die. You're going to respawn. You're going to try it again. You're going to die. You're going to respawn. And as you keep doing that, you gain experience. You gain knowledge, right? You gain knowledge. And what's fun about life, right, is that you forget. You forget everything you ever learned once you spawn into these bodies, right? Once you take your first breath of air. You take your first breath of air, what happens? You start crying. The baby starts crying because it's cold. The baby's cold. It doesn't know where it's at, who it is, where it is. You know, it doesn't have an idea of anything. It just knows, something in its spirit knows, the baby knows that it's not at home, right? It doesn't feel that warmth, that warm comfort, right? That feeling of, it feels unconditional love, but it doesn't have that warmth that it's used to having, right? When it spawns in. And it doesn't really have a conscious mind, right? It's all subtle. It's all subjective, right? Until like the age of 5, maybe 6. That's when the conscious mind kind of hardens in. But that's what happens. You lose all memory of everything, right? Because you know everything in your true form, right? Because you remember your formless awareness, right? And you're all spirit. So in your spirit form, you had to lower your vibration, right? Which is like the most painful experience ever. It's the most painful thing ever, right? You lower your vibration and you come into this body, right? To manifest. You have to lower yourself, and then boom, then you can incarnate, right? It's very painful. Just how you die is like the most blissful experience you ever imagined, right? Because when you die, it's like a breath of fresh air. Because when you die, you're actually born again, right? You don't die. You actually die when you lower your vibration into this physical body, right? That's death, right? That's why the world's kind of backwards, because when a baby's born, right, they kind of celebrate like, oh, wow, you know, they celebrate. But when somebody dies, they cry. When somebody dies, it should be the opposite. When somebody dies, it should be a celebration, right? Celebration of life, because they're born again. They're back home. They went back home. They're back in their home state of being, right? Because that's who you truly are. You're all spirit. But when you're born, right, people should start crying because they know that this innocent baby, this formless awareness, right, that incarnated in a physical body, is gonna go through a long, hard journey called life. And it's got to learn all these things, learn all this certain stuff about it, right? About itself, right? I think that's like the ignorance of society, is that we kind of rotate things backwards, right? But when you spawn in, you start learning immediately. You pick up on everything immediately, right? Whether it's good or bad, right? The universe, the center of the universe, right? Or infinite intelligence, God, whatever you want to call it, right? Subconscious mind, superconscious mind. It knows all things. So like it knows, I mean, excuse me, it doesn't know right or wrong, good or bad. It just knows energy, right? Knows what you give to it, right? It's an infinite loop, an infinite spiral. Infinite spiral. And the baby learns whatever you put into it, right? So when it incarnates, it has no experience points, right? It has to gain experience points, right? And depending on the parents will give it certain attributes, right? Him or her certain attributes. That's what's fun about it. So a lot of people aren't born with like equal talents, right? Because some kids learn maybe like 3 or 4 languages, right? Or learn how to play guitar, piano, learn mathematics, maybe physics, like early on in life, right? Became really smart. And some kids didn't learn any of that, right? Some kids learn nothing but toxicity, right? Or negativity, right? And some kids learn all positivity, right? They had that inner belief in themselves from the early age, right? They knew who they were at an early age. But what's cool, or what's fun about life is that, especially in the times we live in now, we live in the information age. So this information is available. It's available to everybody, right? It's right in our faces. It's just, do we see it or not? Right? I think back in the early days, right, as in before pre-internet, and I'll say even pre-books, right, pre-printing press, you had to either divinely come into this information, right, just by the universe tapping you on the head, or you get to find a teacher that would teach you this information, right? I feel like for most of human life, society was in a place of ignorance, of low frequency, low vibration, right? But now the frequency on the planet is rising, slowly but surely, rapidly rising, right? Rapidly rising. I think more people are awake now, or more conscious now because of that. When I mean awake, I mean actually like have that feeling of awareness, right? Knowing that I'm not this body, I'm not the personality, but I am all awareness. That's what I mean by that. And when you know that, you can literally play life like an RPG. You know it's not real. You know the outside world is just a projection, right? A hologram on the screen of space. And you can start leveling up your character to how you see fit, to what you want to do in life, right? And play the game of life. You can role play. Assume the role. Assume the role in the video game, right? The outside world will replicate it. Will mold itself to how you think and feel. The universe always gives back to you what you give to it. That's it.